Welcome. I'm Jessica Hess, Program Coordinator of Surveying Technology. Thanks for joining me to learn about differential leveling. This is a method of surveying that uses an automatic level instrument to determine elevations. The name is a combination of two components. Automatic refers to a mechanism of swinging mirrors inside the level called an automatic compensator that ensures a horizontal, level reading alignment. The equipment needed includes an automatic level instrument, a tripod, a level rod, and a field book. Begin by unlocking the tripod legs and dropping them until the head is chin height, then expand them to make a wide base. Attach the instrument snugly but not overly tight, then step the legs into the ground. Unlock and slide the legs to rough level the bubble, getting it at least partially inside the ring. Then fine level using the foot screws until the bubble is centered inside the ring. We now check instrument adjustments. The interior mirrors should be able to swing freely. Look through the instrument and tap the tripod legs. The crosshairs should bounce. If they don't, lift the tripod and shake the instrument until you hear a rustling from the inside of the instrument. Then reset it up. Next, adjust for parallax. Turn the eyepiece until the crosshairs are crisp and black. Then turn the focus knob until the target is crisp. Alternate repeating these adjustments until both the crosshairs and the target are crisp. We are now ready to measure. The rod is marked in whole feet, tenths of a foot and hundredths of a foot. Red numbers are whole feet, black numbers are tenths of a foot. The bottoms of the short tick marks are odd numbered hundredths and the tops are even numbered hundredths. The rod is held without any side-to-side leaning, but it may be slowly rocked forward and backward. Read the lowest point seen with the crosshairs. 5 pieces of data are utilized in the leveling process. They are organized in columns in your field book. A station, which is the name of the rod location, an elevation, either known or unknown, a backsight measurement to pull up or add the elevation, a height of instrument to hold and transfer the elevation, and a foresight measurement to send down or subtract the elevation to a point we don't know. So let's say we want to determine the elevation of a feature we don't know. We start with the rodman holding the rod on a known elevation designated as a benchmark. In this case, the known elevation of the benchmark is 100 feet. The instrument operator sets up in a location toward the point of interest, either halfway between or at about 200 feet if it's a long way off. The instrument operator looks back at the rod and records a backsight measurement. This pulls the elevation up the amount of the rod reading to establish a HI in preparation to transfer the elevation forward. The rodman moves past the operator toward that foresight in equal distance and places the rod on a defined solid mark. We've now reached the point of interest. The instrument operator looks forward and sends the elevation down the amount of the rod reading to establish an elevation. We want to check the accuracy of our work. This means we need to make a loop back to our benchmark, taking measurements in the same way. We reset our instrument to begin fresh and reverse the direction of our work, making the benchmark the forward position now. When we take the second measurement on the benchmark, we want the same elevation that we started with. The difference between our first benchmark elevation and the second benchmark elevation is called the closure error. We want this to be less than 200ths or 300ths of a foot. This ends the leveling process. Here are some things to remember. Make instrument adjustments. Keep sightings equal distance and no longer than 200 feet. Turning points should be defined and stable. For every new backsight and foresight set of measurements, you should have a new instrument setup. Thank you for joining me for differential leveling with an automatic level. Look for our other videos to learn more about surveying.